I want to let you know that I have a lot of information and I think you will find it very useful. I did not only do my research, I also spoke to people, got a lot of borrowed knowledge. A lot of people don't share what they did or what they have done. So I went to people to ask questions, friends that I know that have gotten their permanent residence both home and abroad, and I got a lot of information from them. And I also will be sharing my own journey, like the things that I did particularly to help me move from 432 to 473, okay, in a very short period of time. So I would share my experience with you and my knowledge with you, and I hope that it impacts you. All right, let's get started. I assume that if you are watching this video, you've already checked your CRS score, so you have done a sample analysis or a sample simulation of what your score is, and so you have an idea what your score will be if you are going to the pool today. And if you're already in the pool, I assume you know what your score is. Okay, so let's assume that you have 450 as your current CRS score. So CRS being your comprehensive ranking system score, which is all the scores you get before you go into Express Entry. If you need more information about Express Entry, please check my last video. I made a detailed explanation on what the entire process is about. Okay, so I'm assuming that you have 450 currently, and as of August 27th, which was the last Express Entry draw, it was 507. So the score was 507, and everybody from 507 above was invited. Now if you have 450 and the last draw was 507, we're looking at about 60 points to cross you to your desired state. And better off you have more points, so that in case the draw comes out next week as 530 or 520, you are better prepared to get an ITA. Okay, I want to share with you how to bridge that gap. So I'm going to walk you through each requirement. I'm going to tell you different ways to improve each of them. Now, first of all, age. I'm sorry, there's nothing you can do. You cannot change your age, right? Well, your age is your age. I'm sorry about that, but what usually people do, especially when you are a couple or when you are coming as a family, it is highly recommended that you allow the younger applicants to apply. So for example, I'm 25 and I'm married to somebody who's 32. Remember, if you are within 20 to 29, you max out the entire age points, which is about 110. It is recommended that the youngest person applies, because that person can max out all of the points allocated to age. However, it may not apply to everybody, because there are times when the older person has more qualifications in terms of education, in terms of profession. So do well to weigh this in your situation and see what favors you. Or ideally for age, let the younger person apply. For work experience, if you already have worked for 3 to 5 years, you've already maxed out that point, so there's not much you need to do. However, if you are somebody who you just finished schooling and you've not worked for that long, what I would recommend is, first of all, you need to know that your NYSC counts as a year of working experience, as long as you can show proof that you were assigned to a primary place of assignment and you have documents and details to prove that you worked in a particular place. Even your PPA letter, and I think your NYC certificate showing your course completion, your completion of the entire process can apply. Please do a lot of research on that. But I know a lot of people who count their NYC years as a year worth of experience. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is, in case you don't have that, you haven't worked for so long, is you can count part-time jobs as a job, or you can count your part-time work experience, pull them up together to give you a year or more. So for example, if you were working summer jobs while in school, if you were in school and during holidays you took time out to work, as long as you can prove that you worked in a certain place around that time, and you can get reference from those people to prove and to confirm your claim, then you truly can use your summer jobs to add up to another year. Okay, because I got some feedback from some people saying that, oh, I have all these qualifications but I don't have work experience. So I'm just letting you know, summer jobs can count for you, and national youth service can also count for you. You only need about 3 years, I think. Please do your research. About 3 years and you get the maximum points. 3 to 5 years, I guess. Now, education is one of the biggest places that I think I can talk a lot on, so I'm going to move that one to the end. There's a lot of information on education. I think I want to keep that to the end. But now let's talk about language. Do you know that even if you are not doing the best in all the scores, if you do so well in listening, it makes a considerable difference. Yes, if you try out your simulation, put the basic score that is required in all other sections and put like 8.5 or 8 or 9 in listening and see how your overall score changes. So I would advise that if you are struggling with getting good points, focus all your effort or more effort on listening. Listening dramatically changes how well you do in the exam in terms of overall band. Okay, I was able to get a 9 in listening, and I think that changed everything for me. I got a 9 in listening and I got an 8.5 overall band. If you guys would like me to share what I know, 1 or 2 things that I know about IELTS, I would love to. So please let me know in the comment section that you are interested. I will tell you how delulu I was when I was preparing for my IELTS and how that helped me to really ace it in one sitting. Okay, so please let me know if you are interested. Meanwhile, if you do so well in your listening, it makes a big difference for you. But one thing that is trending right now, in case you do not know, as far as language is concerned, is French. I know you don't want to hear about this. I know when people say French, your eye just rolls. But I'm sorry. Life is life, right? Life is happening and you just can't change it. You can't have it your way. If you are willing to write French exam, you don't have any business in your country, wherever you are living in. I just want you to understand that what could be stopping you, or what could be holding you back from your immigration dream may just be French. I don't think you understand. It may just be that French language. The reason I say this is because recently Canada has been big on category-based draws. And I don't think I mentioned it before, but category-based draws in certain fields or in certain skills where they feel like they have that shortages and they need more people to come in. So if they need a particular skill, they would reduce the score considerably for those people and they invite them to get permanent residence. So agriculture, transportation, healthcare, STEM, and French. Yes, I don't think I missed anyone. So if they feel that they have shortages in any of these areas, they would reduce the score considerably. Last week, I think it was about 300 and something. And they called everybody who was French speaking that had 300 and something as their CRS score. So I'm telling you that if you write French and pass, even if your CRS score is not so high, Canada can invite people who have that score, reduce their draw score to their level and invite just them. So really consider taking French. Another reason why I highly recommend French is because Canada is a bilingual country. I think I've said that so much. It improves your chance of getting a job. I will make another video to talk about the job environment in Canada and how hard it is for most people to get jobs right now. But I want you to know that one thing that sets you apart from your competitors when it comes to the job environment, is your French language. I'm able to speak just the intermediate French, and I know the difference it made for me getting a job in Canada. Not just as far the opportunity that it opens to you, but even up to your pay grade. Okay, definitely you would be considered a little more differently when you are bilingual compared to someone who isn't. So please learn French. I also recommend that you make French your first language and IELTS your second language, because that way you will get even more points. Now take that very lightly, because I have also found out that the language exam that you do the best in is what you should put as your first language. So for example, if I do so well in IELTS, I will make English my first language and French my second language. If I do so well in French, I would make French my first language, and you understand. So I highly recommend French. If you are sitting on French, you are sitting on a very long thing. I did my now I had gotten my ITA at the time I started learning French. I was just trying to while away time. I had gotten my invitation to apply. I was just waiting for my permanent residence application to be completed, and then I started to take French classes. I recommend Alliance Française in Lagos. That's the only one I know, but the fees are not so expensive, so you can please check them out. There are also other ones in Lagos and Benin. If you know any French tutorial, please drop it in the comments to help somebody. I highly recommend Duolingo. I have Duolingo. I have used Duolingo for the longest now, and I think I have about 600 days streak, so almost 2 years of constant practice. Do that just to maintain my knowledge and keep building on what I already have. So I highly recommend Duolingo. It will help you. Now, having spoken about language, let's get into the meat of the matter. I feel like education has the most of the things you can do. Now, how education works is that for your bachelor's degree, you are given a certain point. If you have a master's or a PhD, you have more points. Ideally, I would recommend that you do a master's. But a lot of people will be like, I'm not ready to go back to school, I'm not ready to this, I'm not ready to that. So in case you don't want to do a master degree, there are certifications that you can do that are internationally recognized. And if you do those certifications, you can evaluate them with WES to be another degree, and that would count for more points for you. Today I'm going to run you through the list of certifications that I know you can do that are internationally accredited. Now you need to know that not all the certifications you know will count for a second degree. That is why you need to have that information. In my case, as at that time, I had done ICANN. So as a finance professional, ICANN was a go-to for me. I started ICANN, and halfway through I realized, halfway through like my first diploma, I can't remember, I realized that I was not going to be evaluated to a second degree for me, so I stopped and I went into ACCA. I started to do ACCA. I think I was supposed to do F1 to F3. Yes. And I finished F1 to F3. I got a diploma. And I also found out, now please do your research here, I don't remember the information that I got, whether it was not going to be evaluated or there was just a better option. But I remember that I finished ACCA, F1 to F3, and then I started CIMA. Now, if you have the right information, you don't have to go through all the steps I'm going through. You just have to go to the one that suits your course. That's why I say do a lot of research. I highly recommend Nairaland. I highly recommend Telegrams, okay? So join as many Telegram groups as you can join and let people share their own experiences with you. So after writing ACCA and I got the diploma, I then went on to write CIMA, because my husband had found out, oh, CIMA was what everybody was doing at the time, and it was doing the job at helping you boost your score. So I dumped ACCA and I went right into CIMA. But the good thing was that because I had done ACCA, I had gotten a diploma, I got an exemption from CIMA. So I was supposed to write BA1, BA2, 3 and 4 in CIMA. Because of the exemption, I think I was allowed to skip BA1, and then I went to BA2, BA3. The details are a little sketchy, but please do your research. I am very sure that CIMA gives you extra points and it's evaluated as a complete degree if you write the certification. It's not so difficult. Believe me, it's not so difficult. If you are someone whose head is straight up, you can do it. It's not. At least it's not as crazy as GMAT. I stand any day. I feel like GMAT is one of the hardest exams in Nigeria. I stand to be corrected. If you think I'm lying, if you do not agree, write it in the comment section. Let's banter in the comment section. As far as the finance field is concerned, I know that there are many other exams, but I think GMAT is one of the craziest exams that the world ever created. I don't stand to be corrected. In fact, bring it to the comment section. Let's banter. I'm ready to fight tooth and nail because that exam is crazy. Okay, so I think you can do it. That was for ACCM, for CIMA. So I wrote CIMA and I evaluated my score, my result with WES, and voila, I think I got extra 50 points. I don't know, but that changed everything for me. I moved from 430 to 473 and I got IT. So yes, do well to check some of the certifications. So if you are in Nigeria, we have what we call the National Open University. If you don't want to do a master course, you can do a diploma course. There are 1-year diplomas in NOUN, which is National Open University of Nigeria. There are diplomas in University of Lagos. I think even in University of Benin. They're like 8 months, 9 months courses that you can take and you can evaluate them to a degree. But before you do any course, make sure that you know that it can be evaluated to another degree, because not all courses will give you a degree. So do extensive research. If you have HND and ND, I'm getting information that it is evaluated as 2 separate degrees. So for those people who went to polytechnics, lucky you. Please do your research and find out. That may give you more points compared to someone who did just a BSc. So please do find out on that. Now I want to list out certain certifications that I know you can do if you are in other professions that can also be evaluated to a full degree. I've spoken about ACC, I've spoken about CIMA. Another one is CIIN, which is for insurance professionals. CIIN. I am informed that if you write that exam as well to a certain, you don't have to write the certifications from the beginning till the end. You just need to know which part of it, which modules you have to take, maybe 4 courses or 5 courses that you can get you a diploma that you can use as a certification. The BCS IT, I heard about CIPM too. CIPM is a low level certification for project managers. I think the higher one is PMP. So if you are in Canada, you may write PMP to get into the pool or to get more scores, but if you are in Africa, I think CIPM is sufficient to get you another degree. Okay, I would advise that you do an intensive research to see which of these courses match your profession. So you cannot be a doctor and be doing project management. I don't think that works. Okay, so look for the certifications in your own profession that you can write and evaluate to another degree. Okay, so I hope this you find helpful. If there are more things that you know that you would like to share to also help people that are watching the video, people who are trying their best to get out of the pool and get invited, please share it in my comments. Okay, I really would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video. Mwah.